Is it possible to make a Royal Enfield lighter and faster so that it appeals to me again? And that is how the Muddy Hog 411 project started. Royal Enfield has a very unique place in the public psyche. Not many brands or people are in that very unique position. Let me ask you, what do you think is common between, say, Novak Djokovic, Michael Schumacher, Donald Trump, Reliance Industries, Narayan Murthy, Marc Marquez and Royal Enfield? I think you got it. They are all polarizing brands. For the vast majority, either hate or love them. Very few neutrals. And this is a position that Royal Enfield holds. A unique position where people love it or they hate it. Maybe 5% or at the most 10% are neutrals. So Royal Enfield has a unique place. I am neutral towards it, though I do have a little bit of love. I still have a little bit of love for what it has done for me and for what the path it has given me and to where I am today. We made a video a week back about why we no longer own or ride Royal Enfield motorcycles. CK and I shot that video and we put it up. The link is here if you wish to watch it, where we discussed as to why we no longer own or ride a Royal Enfield. We don't enjoy it anymore. And then CK sent me a message, a very interesting message. This is what he sent me.
Hi Busky. The last few months, I guess, we've always been silently mourning about Royal Enfield motorcycles being heavy, being slow, and we've even bashed it up a bit in our last video if you actually look at it. Now, coming to terms with it, right? Yes, they are heavy, they're not actually light. I would want to challenge you to explore if we can make a Royal Enfield that's lighter, that's faster, and has a better suspension as well to it. Are you game to pick up the challenge?
You see, that little love for the brand and CK's message prompted me to take up a challenge. Is it possible to make a Royal Enfield lighter and faster so that it appeals to me again? And that is how the Muddy Hog 411 project started. I had built a Muddy Hog 650 out of my Interceptor about 4 years ago. I made a motorcycle which I loved, which anybody who rode it enjoyed it. Of course, I no longer own it. And if you wish to watch that video, the link is up here. That's the Muddy Hog 650. So on the same lines comes the Muddy Hog 411. The mission was to make a practical motorcycle, a usable motorcycle, something that can be used to commute, something that can be used to go on short rides, and something that can go on long rides and to the mountains. Nothing radical, nothing crazy, nothing extreme. A design that will not draw a second look easily or attract the police for the wrong reasons. So it had to be simple yet practical and realistic and usable. So I came up with a list of things to do and 95% done. 5% is always work in progress. Things keep changing week after week, month after month. Something or the other will be coming and going on the motorcycle. However, right now it is at a stage 95% done and it is worthy enough to make a video about it. So let's go take a closer look at the Muddy Hog 411. There it is. purse strings had to be loosened quite a bit. We will come to that later. Let's go see what all we have done. Let me take you through the modifications in no specific order, just starting randomly, and I hope I don't miss anything. Cyclops LED, far better than the halogen. Is this good? Yes. Is it good enough to cover any night riding that I plan to do? May not be. I may have to put in a accessory light. I have not decided on that. That's not a priority. So I'll come to that when a trip or something is coming up. This is the GPS mount. I call it a GPS because it is just a mobile phone with a geo SIM. The only purpose of this SIM is to run Google Maps. So instead of sticking my phone out somewhere here, leaving it out in the sun, open to the dust and rain and all that vibration, I keep my phones in my pocket or in the tank bag, and I use a mid-range Samsung, which I connect to this USB charger here. So this runs my maps. So it's a waterproof phone, and this is a waterproof pouch, so I can use it even when it rains. So, and this position is what I like. I do not like the ones that stick here. It takes too much. I have to look down a little too much. These are very easy to view. Just roll down the eyes a bit and it points out. So this is a pretty useful thing. These mirrors, these are V-Strom 250 mirrors. They have a beautiful shape to it. There are too many round things in this motorcycle. A round headlight doesn't really go well with a round mirror. I mean, that's just my taste. However, even those the round Royal Enfield mirrors are no great shakes. They don't provide a good vision, rearward vision. These are good. They have a good convex shape and good coverage, and they don't cost much. 340 rupees for a set. Royal Enfield mirrors cost a lot more. Look at this mounting. This is the mounting here. I have removed that frame, weight reduction. I don't need that. A few kilos are gone there only. Now the standard way of doing this is they mount the GT650 headlight mount here, right in this place, and then mount the headlight. So the headlight moves with the handlebar. I did not want that. One of the advantages of having the headlight, the meter assembly mounted separately away from out of the handlebar and the fork assembly is to reduce that weight on the handlebar. So I wanted to maintain that. So I used the frame this way, put in some small brackets and use the original mounting itself. So it is pretty strong. That frame, that mounting is what holds this big frame on the top end. So I mounted it on that. Minor modifications for the indicator and this thing. Yeah, I need to finish it off a little better, which I will do. I just want to make sure it stays in place, it doesn't vibrate, shake or fall off. So far so good. Bark busters, pretty standard stuff. I do not plan to put the plastic. I'm going to leave it this way. So looks pretty neat. This is just a strap and a mat. With the webbing here, I can mount any kind of tank bag. This can stay on, it may go off. So for today I needed this, so I just put it on, nothing much. Friction pad. If you ask me, this friction pad is not very useful, it is more aesthetic because the knees are somewhere here on this motorcycle. This friction pad is what is most important. This is where when the rider's inner shin, the calf, so when standing and riding, we cannot grip the tank, not possible. This is where we need to grip. So this part from the knee to the foot is what stable with the motorcycle, and rest of the body moves around to maintain balance. So this is a very important piece, and in the Himalayan this kind of projects out a bit. So trying to hold the motorcycle with the legs, this is what is the first thing that comes in contact. So this needs to be a place where there is some grip and some friction. This is some aluminum foot pegs, very useful. Side stand extender, another useful thing to have. These are motor cans, they sit on top of the stock foot pegs. Pro-Spec bottle holder, nothing much to say about it. It's a utility item, practical item, good to have. This is the Royal Enfield oil cooler guard, which I found better than a lot of these aftermarket. So This is pretty decent. And I have put in a horn. This is a pom-pom. Men like pom-poms, you know. So I got rid of that pim-pim, which is kind of developing a sore throat. So I have a set. It is too noisy. The set is too noisy. This sounds weird, but serves the purpose, alerts people, and if necessary, gets people out of the way. Crash guard, I have decided to go with the stock. I believe a crash guard should absorb impact. Now, how does it absorb impact? By bending. It absorbs some of the force. There are some crash guards that are like compound walls, like the Red Fort, big with bobbins and ones and absolutely solid. They are good to an extent. However, the weakness is they transmit the entire shock into the frame. Entire shock goes into the frame. So I am not very fond of it. May not be the best this, but I am happy with this, so I'll stay with this. Heel guard, again, original Royal Enfield product, better than a lot of these other local. Exhaust, stock exhaust. I do not plan to put in any aftermarket exhaust. They are a bit too noisy. This has got a beautiful growl. It weighs a bit. I'll have to wait and see. When I come across something really good or useful, I'll probably change it. Till then, staying with the stock exhaust. And of course, you can see the sticker here. I've got a BMC air filter, a stock replacement inside. So there we go. This is a BS6 rack. The BS4 used to crack and break. I have had it break on my BS3 Himalayan, and I dropped my luggage on the highway onto Goa. So this is the BS6. It is stronger, it's got better reinforcement, and then I put this on not for any top case. I don't use top cases anymore. This is just so I can put a soft luggage and bungee it down if I'm carrying something. So that's all this plate is for. There are a lot of other metal plates available in the market. Pretty good ones. They look good, but the thing what I don't like about them is they are like a blade, you know. So it's got a sharp edge all around. I mean, sharp means okay, they're about 2 mm thick, but still it feels sharp. This has got a bit blunt edges and it's plastic, so I prefer this over putting a metal plate. Aluminium alloy sprocket. Yes, it is far lighter, so it's rotating mass and weight. It saves both unsprung weight, so it changes the handling and improves how the rear suspension operates. And it is 40 teeth, 2 teeth up. Got this made in the US. Somebody whom I knew was getting some sprockets done, and I just threw in my order there. So this is the 40 teeth. Just increase the torque, drop the top end, and that's okay. In steep climbs, at slow speeds, a standing start on a steep incline, great use. And coupled with that is the RK chain. This is an endless chain by RK, the same people who make the Takasago rims, XL rims, they make this chain. This chain is actually run on another Himalayan for over 20,000 kilometers, and it does not stretch, it does not flap around. It's meant for a much higher horsepower motorcycle, so I guess this is going to last a long time without requiring chain adjustment. Aluminium rim, lighter, it can be converted to tubeless, is tubeless compatible. This is from an Interceptor. It's an Interceptor rear, it's an 18, and so I had to change the tire also. This is a tubeless compatible tire. The 17 rim is not, the stock 17 rim and the 17 tire are not tubeless compatible. So since I'm going to put Outex treatment on this, I couldn't use the 17-inch rim and the 17-inch tire anyway. So I have gone with the Interceptor rim and a tubeless tire. It's an Avon. It's a 120, not a 130. Stock is 130/17. This is a 120/80. Good enough. Soft rubber, works well. The front is a aluminium rim. This is an Takasago XL rim. These are super strong aluminium alloys used in motocross. Cost me a packet to get it. The front wheel is 2.5 kgs lighter than stock. Can you imagine 2.5 kgs of rotating mass, unsprung mass reduction? The handling of this motorcycle is completely different. You have to ride it to believe it. It's so flickable at speeds. Normally the Himalayan around 80, 85, the front starts to get a bit heavy. Not unduly heavy. It takes some effort to make it change direction. With this, remains light right through up to whatever speed this motorcycle can do. Now I put in some little risers here. This is because sometimes muck can get stuck and jam the wheel and the mudguard. So you give a bit of extra space. Riding in slush, this helps. Okay, it's a touring seat, Royal Enfield touring seat. Much better than the stock seat. The stock seat kind of collapses, and then backside the arse starts to hurt. With this, it doesn't collapse so much. So far so good. It may not be the ultimate solution, but better than the stock. And the most interesting item, Powertronics ECU. Yeah, this has bumped up the performance. The bike is definitely faster. And not only this, if you noticed, Fuel X, this has got 10 settings, rich to lean. I believe the stock setting is somewhere in 3, one being the leanest. So the stock is 3, so we can rich the mixture according to riding style, according to terrain, according to altitude. It can be changed on the fly. Race Dynamics makes this, and it has proven most effective on BS6 motorcycles. BS6 motorcycles are throttled, strangled, and they run so lean that they struggle, literally struggle. This solves the problem. Whether it is legal or not, no comments. Renthal handlebar, aluminum handlebar, lighter, stronger than the stock. This is a bit more straighter, it's got less sweep in and marginally wider. I like this, more comfortable than the stock handlebar. The canister, the evap canister, has a big charcoal block here, which kind of after some time conks out and causes problem in throttling and fueling. Got rid of that. So plug the hoses, the overflow pipes are just hanging there, so that took some weight off, and the fueling is also better. And then another important operational item is the easy clutch. You can operate the clutch with a single finger. Himalayan clutch is not the lightest. After a long stretch, when the clutch gets hot, it does get a bit heavy. So I have installed a Pro Spec easy clutch, a beautiful unit. It has completely changed the way the clutch operates. It's a joy now. It takes some getting used to because the bite point changes. Don't really feel it like we do on a stock clutch. We don't feel the bite point. So once I got the hang of it, solid item. And finally, a big ticket item, the YSS suspension. The front fork kit, adjustable fork kit. It's got preload adjustment. It's got it here. I can adjust the preload, and then the rear shock absorber. Rear shock absorber has got a preload adjustment, a height adjustment, and a rebound damping adjustment. It's pretty well designed. I've just started using it and still learning how to set it up well. I think eventually I should get it into a good place. And I fit in a little bit of a mud flap to prevent the muck from getting thrown onto the YSS rear suspension. Like I said, it's a big ticket item. I want to make sure I protect it pretty well. Yeah, I think that covers most of it. So that's about it. I just have to get the Outex done. I have just received the Outex kit, so I'll convert only the rear. I'm not going to do the front because the front rim is too narrow. The rear is a wide rim. It's got enough space to actually get the tape and the adhesive, everything on place, and it stays together. What else? I hope to get adjustable levers. I haven't been able to find anything here. The only thing I have seen is Tech Bike Parts UK. They've got a set of adjustable levers for this motorcycle. I have to get it from the UK. It's going to cost a packet. If you know any levers for the Himalayan that I can get here, please post in the comments. I will be grateful. Yeah, another couple of things. One would be a tool tube Now because of that Powertronics ECU, there is no place to put a toolkit. So I plan to put a small tool tube somewhere here, something a similar size of this on this side, so I can carry some tools. And maybe the last thing, a small fly screen, just to give it a little bit of a look. So a short fly screen, it probably will not go beyond the height of this phone mount. So I have to look for something, make some adjustments and fit it. That's all for now. I hope you liked what you have seen. So please let me know what do you think in the comments. I love to hear from you, and I will respond to every comment, because that's what keeps me going. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you what you think of this, and any questions, anything, good, bad, nice, not so nice, whatever it is, please let me know. Give me a chance to respond to your comments. Now the verdict. Has it become lighter? Oh, most definitely yes. Has it become faster? Most definitely yes. Now, the question is, how much faster? How much lighter? That is one set of questions. The second set is, how much did it cost? Was it worth it? These 4 questions I will answer another day in another video when we do a comparo with another stock Himalayan. So keep a lookout for that. Likely in a couple of weeks' time, I will have that video out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Till next time, take care. Royal Enfield is a brand of the yada 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 da 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 blah blah blah. I guess I got it all.